Welcome back, Pokemon fans. Angel of the Night here. We are back again with the Grand Challenge 2025, part number 1, and we're getting into battle number 30. Finally, day number 3 matches are a go. So here we go. We've got Indeedee and Gardevoir coming out from our opponent, and of course, I'm coming in with our Misdreavus and our Tauros. Now, Tauros, of course, not really the best matchup to have here, just basically because there's a Fairy type on the opposing side as well as a Psychic type. Any big Psychic move is probably just going to one-shot this Tauros. Plus, with the whole Psychic Surge, it's not looking good. So, pretty much at this point, I have to decide, well, you know what, I'm going to have to go for the Terrestrialization here, because that's going to allow me to be able to try to resist a Psychic-type move. Plus, as well, with the Rock Slide, we're going to be able to hit 2 Pokemon at once. Now, as well, with the Misdreavus, of course, there are a couple of options there that we could go for. However, there's probably going to be some redirections with the Indeedee as well. Now, I think our best bet here is to go for the Terrestrialization of Fairy and try to get as much damage with Tauros as possible. Of course, as you can see, here's the Follow Me with the Indeedee becoming the center of attention. And we go with the Rock Slide, which is going to be able to avoid that and hit 2 Pokemon at once. Now, of course, we also have the Dazzling Gleam. We're going to get a little bit of chip damage here. There is the Shadow Ball coming from the Gardevoir into the Misdreavus. Luckily, we were able to survive, but it also proves that the Gardevoir is also a Life Orber. Now, of course, the redirect with the Indeedee could be a big thing. I'm debating here at this time if I'm going to go for the Rock Slide or I'm going to go for the Raging Bull. Now, at this time, I decided to go for the Raging Bull into the Gardevoir, and then, of course, you know what, I kind of decided to change things up. I decided to go for the Raging Bull to the Indeedee because of the redirect, but I actually get tricked into it because here is the Helping Hand. Here's the Raging Bull going to the Indeedee, not doing very much damage, but we are going to go with the Shadow Ball into the Gardevoir here, and thankfully it's super effective, and we picked up the KO. So, no Helping Hand Psychic move for that Gardevoir. So, first Pokemon down on our opposing team, and we are going to see a new Pokemon come in. Now, it looks like it's going to be a Sneasler, and as you guys can probably predict, it is the Psychic Seed, boosting up some special defense with the Sneasler. Now, of course, because it is on the Psychic terrain, we know that Fake Out is not going to be a thing, which means that we're going to have to try to do some damage off onto the opposing side. So, I can either go for the Raging Bull or the Raging Bull or the Rock Slide. Here's the Follow Me, of course, so we know that we're going to get redirected into the Indeedee. So here's the Dire Claw. Now, you know, Dire Claw, when it does hit, it does usually provide some sort of status infliction. Luckily, we were actually able to avoid that, which never usually happens. Usually I get, like, put to sleep, or, you know, I get paralyzed or poisoned of some kind. We get a little Dazzling Gleam off onto the opposing side. Doesn't really do very much, of course. Meowscarada coming in here next as the last and final Pokemon on the opposing side. Luckily for us, Tauros is a Fire type, so we should be able to do some damage off on the Meowscarada as long as we can actually attack first. No priority moves can be in effect here right now because of the Psychic terrain, which is pretty fantastic. So we don't have to worry about Sucker Punch or Fake Out or anything like that coming from the Meowscarada. We just have to worry about being able to outspeed that Meowscarada. But, you know what? The Sneasler, of course, we are going to get hit by an Acrobatics, which is actually kind of an interesting move when you think about it. Not really a move that I would normally put onto a Sneasler, but it does make sense when it's paired with the whole Psychic Seed because the actual damage is boosted when you've used an item, I think. Anyway, I don't know, I'm thinking about Hawlucha. It might be the Imburden. I might be wrong. Post your comments down below what you guys think. We're going to come in here with the Zebstrika here next, and of course we have one final Pokemon remaining. We've got our Maushold. So we've got Zebstrika, and Zebstrika is usually a pretty fast Pokemon. We've got, obviously, a couple of options. We can go for the high horsepower into the Sneasler, or we could go to the Flame Charge. Plus, as well, we got the Population Bomb to go into the Meowscarada. But, as you can see, it looks like they're going to go for a Terrestrialization here. They're going to go into a Flying type. And that actually makes a lot of sense, because Sneasler is a Poison-type Pokemon, and any kind of Ground-type moves are actually super effective. Plus, as well, they also get a boost with the whole Acrobatics scenario, and they're actually almost able to take out the whole Maushold situation. But, as you guys can see, Meowscarada is able to pick up the KO with the knockoff, and that leaves us with just one final Pokemon remaining, which is our Zebstrika. Now, it did knock off our Wide Lens, obviously not really going to do very much here, but anyways, we can't hit it with the high horsepower because it's a ground type move. Now, of course, the Psychic terrain is now down, so that means that some priority moves can take in place, which is obviously like Sucker Punches and things like that. So we'll see what happens here. We could go for the Supercell Slam, or we could go for the Flame Charge. They're going to go for the Dire Claw. They do manage to get the hit onto the Zebstrika. Luckily for us, we didn't get put to sleep, but the Meowscarada does pick up the KO. So that is a GG for my opponent. Thank you very much for the battle. If you guys enjoyed, give it a big thumbs up, post your comments down below, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace out.